Dash Action Podcast. This is Dash Action, a storytelling podcast. In Season 1, we're telling our story through a D&D campaign. These are the tales of Betrayal. Welcome to Dash Action. I'm your host with the toast, Lewis Power, introducing our characters. The baguette boy himself, it's Gordon Grundy.
In the last episode, Tarun was incredibly lucky to come across a horse that would allow him to catch up with the carriage. He was very unlucky with the horse that he found.
Time will tell. He's the human croissant. It's Ben Simpson.
That's correct. Playing Mossgrow Lyle, who's a little bit sad about Rhey shoving him off the wagon.
I can imagine that sort of thing could hurt your feelings.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hit the ground, but he's still hurt.
Yeah, and it's understandable. It'll be okay, buddy. She's definitely the rye bread of the group. It's just Darcy Whiteley.
Fucking who likes rye bread?
Everyone loves rye bread. Well, I'm thinking of rye whiskey.
Has found herself in a carriage. She doesn't know why, but the carriage is also made for a great place to take a nap.
And our special guest, the Duke of Sourdough, it's Josh Connolly.
Vel is a little bit torn at the moment. He's been working on a goal of his for years, and in the space of 10 minutes meeting these people, he's achieved so much more than he ever has before.
You're welcome.
What can I say? We get shit done.
One way or another.
Yeah, usually with fire.
Snoodles doesn't get very much done.
You leave Snoodles alone. Snoodles is a glorious beast.
And he's dead. Well, if you don't know who Snoodles is, neither do I. But let's see if we can find out in a recap. Last time on Tales of Betrayal, the gang continued their battle in the basement of death in the book repository. Darkness had swept in and overtaken the room, and Rhey had been stabbed in the back. She was then charmed by an unknown assailant, then told to go upstairs and get in a carriage that was waiting. She failed her saving throw and felt compelled to do so. The others knew it was time to escape. They each decided to start heading towards the stairs and trying to leave. Mossgrow, in an attempt to be able to see where he was going, created a bonfire in front of him and set ablaze Brother Melkai, who burned alive inside his armor in a horrific display of carnage.
That's so graphic still somehow.
It's very, very Mossgrow.
Classic Mossgrow. Then the gang managed to get up the stairs whilst being hunted and almost attacked many times by an unknown figure. They ran upstairs and saw that Rhey was in a carriage speeding away. After they all managed to get out of the building, Tarun found a horse by the grace of Bahamut and started making his way up to the carriage. However, Mossgrow, being hasted by Vel, ran at top speed, jumped on the back of the carriage. After everyone escaped safely and Vel managed to hold back the shadowy figure with a firebolt, he then blew up the entire building with a fireball, destroying the book repository and trapping whatever the figure was inside. Mossgrow, on the back of the carriage, tried to convince Rhey to leave, but she felt compelled to get him off and pushed him off the carriage. He went flying, but was luckily caught by Tarun on his valiant horse as he arrived in the nick of time. The gang, without Rhey, gathered as the carriage sped off, and this is where we are now. As the carriage speeds off, it's about to round a corner.
We've got to get Rhey out of that carriage. I can't catch up, not even with this horse. I checked the collar. It has a name tag. Name is Snoodles.
It's official.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horse is wearing a collar.
Yeah. As horses do.
Who names a horse Snoodles?
Well, I guess whoever owns it.
If, I'm still hasted, I could probably try and catch up again, but she pushed me off the cart.
Get over it.
Well,
It really hurt.
you're not here.
I know.
If you can catch up to it again, you can get up to the horses and get the horses to stop.
All right, I'll give it a shot. I'm gonna run.
Yeah, with the last burst of this energy, because
Yeah.
haste is a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're about halfway through it by my count at the moment.
Yes, yeah. With the last burst of this energy for the moment, you just take off at full speed, veins bulging in it, running, pushing all your energy out, and you manage to catch this cart as it rounds the corner. Go ahead and make your acrobatics check to nail the landing.
17.
17, you attach to the side and are able to jump back on Rhey. You just start to drift off again after pushing Mossgrow off. And then you see all of a sudden, like a gremlin on a window, he jumps back on. You guys are continuing as well?
Yeah.
Along, or?
We're right behind you, Mossgrow. Snoodles, away!
Can I like climb around to like the door or something, try and get in?
Absolutely. You can go into the carriage. Rhey, you see Mossgrow's trying to get into the carriage door.
I know you shouldn't be coming with me, but I also don't want to shove you again. Because I feel like you probably took that really personally.
Yeah, definitely.
It really kind of cut deep. Okay.
If you slap her, you can slap her out of it. I think you're only charmed until you get attacked.
Quiet, you. What would you like to do, Rhey?
I will open the door and let you in. Let's. And he just flies off the door.
That solves that problem.
It could happen.
Let's let Mossy in so I can cuss him out for once again catching up to the carriage.
Yeah, so you can open the door and let him in with the intention of...
Well, I mean, it's nice to have company when you're doing
Yeah.
something.
You don't want him on... He has to get off the carriage. You don't want him on the carriage.
At all. I don't want to hurt you again, Mossy. That's what...
Yeah, you wouldn't want to hurt him. That's true.
Okay. I will reason with you. Okay. So I'm going to open the door. Opens door. Mossy, what are you doing here?
What are you doing in this? Where is the driver? What's happening? Why are you on this?
It's a driverless carriage. Have you not seen them around? Anyway, we don't have time to talk about...
New to town, apparently.
No, you can't come with me, Mossy. This is something I have to do alone. I can't explain it. I just feel like I have to go wherever this carriage is taking me, and you can't come with me. I can't hurt you again, but I need you to not stay. I need you to trust me on this. Trust the voices in my head.
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll with advantage.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So 10 plus 20 plus 1.
It's a natural 20.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Hey! I give up. No. I mean, you look in her eyes, Mossgrow, and you see, yeah, she says she doesn't want to hurt you, but she has to do this alone. You see her fully convinced and seeming genuine and sincere. What sort of, how are you reacting to this, knowing that what she's saying is extremely persuasive?
It sounds like you know what you're doing, but can you let me in on the plan before if I have to go?
I don't even have a plan. I just know I have to go wherever this carriage is taking me, and it's just something for me, and I don't want you to get hurt. I mean business, Mossy. I shoved you before. I think I was in a sleepy stupor, but I definitely remember shoving you.
Oh, I remember. Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, I just need you to tuck and roll out the side.
All right. Mossy leans out the door and shuffles along towards the back and then casts invisibility on himself.
Okay. Excellent.
Nice.
Nice of you to fucking listen.
There you go.
She's real cranky today.
You should have napped. You should have napped.
All right. Well, you leave throughout the door, and Rhey, you sort of look towards where the carriage is going in expectation, and still bewilderment of what's happening, but why you feel this way. Mossgrow, you do that. You shuffle back and you turn invisible. Go ahead and make a perception roll with disadvantage, Rhey.
Okay, so the lowest was a 5. Minus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed that. Yeah.
You definitely think that Mossy has heeded your pleading and gone. As you guys are moving forward, you see the carriage round the corner. Taryn and Vel, make perception checks for me.
21.
6.
Excellent. Yeah. You're a bit distracted because Fabier's they're going, we gotta go. We cannot let them get away. But maybe do you want to carry the boy for a while? No. Actually, it's my job. I've been tasked with it. Get your hands off him. So you were distracted by that, Taryn. You look up and you squint your eyes and you see Mossgrow at the last second go invisible on the carriage. So, with an over 20. You also then hear, and you quickly look back towards the destroyed building and you see a puff of black smoke. It wafts away. You see this figure standing there. Pale, bald figure has apparated. Finally, he's got a lot of blood and different damage marks on him.
It's going to sound like a high school math problem. My horse is traveling at 60 feet every 6 seconds. The carriage is traveling at 80 feet every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just watching it get further and further away. I know Mossgrow's on it. He will keep Rhey safe. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to charge this guy. Because if nothing else, he can tell me where that carriage is going.
Okay. Well, let's roll a new round of initiative for this as you charge this shadowy figure.
All right. That is a 15.
15. Excellent. And Vel?
14 for Vel.
Taryn, you turn around and you start charging at this figure. His bottom half of his whole face covered with a tattered black scarf, but his eyebrows furrow, and you see the tattoo on the center of his head, and he immediately starts running towards you as well.
He's pretty fucking brave.
As he runs at you, he holds up his hand, and all the smoke from and shadows from his clothing all coalesce and turn into a blade in his hand. He's going to jump and roll and come slashing down at you with his shadow blade.
Wow.
That's going to be 21 to hit.
That'll do it. Probably should have had some sort of healing potion before I picked another fight. We'll deal with that later.
And that is going to be excellent. That's going to be 11 damage. As the blade sort of disapparates and then reapparates as it punches through your arm and shoulder, disappears and then appears when it's in your flesh, pushes through the back of your arm. Then he is going to attempt to hide. So he's going to, smoke comes up around him, he's going to try and distract and maneuver for an attempt on a hide on this one. That's going to be a 20 to hide.
Okay.
Make a perception check.
That's 6.
So he runs, jumps up in the air, the blade coalesces, and then he comes striking down at you, pushes the blade through, and then the smoke dissipates, the blade dissipates again for a second, blinds you for a minute, and he disappears and the dust just settles. Neither of you, Vel, you see this quick, Wild West sort of Shaolin transaction happen, and this guy disappears out of sight. Then, Taryn, it is your turn.
Oh shit, that's really annoying. Okay, I'm going to also bonus action hide.
Go ahead and roll your stealth.
That's a 19.
Yeah. And then Vel, you're like, where'd that shadow guy go? And then you look back and Taryn's gone. It's just like you and Fabier standing there.
Who needs enemies?
Anything else you can do at this point, Taryn?
At some point we had healing potions, but I don't know if Mossgrow is carrying all of them.
Yeah, gave you one each.
Yeah, cool. Because
I don't believe
believe
you've used it.
I can drink a healing potion as a bonus action.
Yeah, in this one you can.
Well, that's a 1 and a 1 and a 1. So it's an additional 7, which is 26.
26? Okay, brilliant. You drink that potion. You're hiding there, catching your breath for a second. Next up, Vel.
Well, Vel looks around and there's people disappearing and reappearing and disappearing. So he assumes that someone is going to pop out and try and stab him at some point.
Good assumption.
Yeah. And so not having any enemies in front of him now, he's just going to ready a spell for when they do pop out. And that will be blindness, deafness.
Excellent.
Ready to cast blindness on assuming this smoky, ghosty, sort of disappearing guy pops up, gonna stab him.
Yeah, fair enough.
I really hope he pops up first.
Fair enough. Absolutely, yeah. You keep your head on a swivel and just back to back with Favier, Eve, and Milo, readying your energy there. Excellent. Brilliant. Yeah, you ready your energy. And Favier does the same. He pulls out his pistol. He's holding it up, looking around. He's like, make your move, sucker. Only a coward hides and attacks from the shadows. Except for my Lord Tarun, of course. He is not a coward.
Thank you.
He is a tactician. But you are a coward. And he's readying an action to fire his pistol at the first thing that pops out at him.
My greatest fan.
Brilliant. A tumbleweed blows across the street. All of a sudden, he apparates. A black smoke appears and he jumps out at you with the shadowy blade, going to make his attack.
Yep.
But you spin around, head on a swivel, and you let loose your spell. Go ahead and is it a saving throw?
It is a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 16.
Oh, excellent. That's going to be a 5.
Oh.
So he is afflicted as you blast out this energy at him, and he winces for a second as he jumps at you, sort of throws him off balance a bit. At the same time that Favier Eve shoots him with a gun, fires off his pistol.
Known for his aim.
Distracted by your spell, fires off into a nearby window.
Oh, God.
The guy goes, oh, damn kids! And the figure gets distracted and comes down. Instead of having advantage on this, now has flat roll. Yeah, he gets only a 15 to hit. Blindness affects him and he tries to strike down at you with the shadow blade. Misses, you step out of the way. He clatters to the ground, rolls with the momentum of that miss and is going to attempt to hide. I'm going to say he'll do this at disadvantage as well because he is totally disoriented by the situation. He's rolled a 3 and he has 16 for his stealth, total stealth on that one. Yeah, not a plus, but a plus of 13. So, Vel, you go ahead and roll a perception check.
Nat 20.
Oh, yeah,
You've got control of the situation. So, yeah, he this imposing figure ends up, looking like a bit of a fool in this situation. He tries to attack, you blind him, you dodge out of the way, he rolls and then runs over and tries to hide behind a box, and you can still just see his cloak billowing out from behind the box. Tarun, that's your turn.
Cool. So I rolled an 18 on my perception.
Yeah.
And I am now going to, because someone is within 5 feet of the enemy, I don't need advantage to get all of my additional sneak attack damage. I'm going to sneak attack him.
Sneak attack
Yeah.
him so hard.
Absolutely.
That's going to be like a 24 to hit.
Yes, 24 will hit.
This is the roll for this. Oh, shit.
There's a 1.
That is 26 damage with the Frostbrand rapier, and I shout, "Freeze!"
26 damage and a terrible pun.
That's what does him
That's
in.
the most damage. He gets 26 piercing damage and 80 cringe damage. Yeah, but he tries this move and he fails and he looks like a bit of an idiot, and you have successfully hit and you have moved through while this was happening, this exchange with Vel, and then as he's hide, you're able to come out, sneak attack him, and get huge hit on him, and you stab into him, and the frost penetrates, burst out of his wound. He stifles a scream. And
That's all I'm doing. I assume he's not down.
He's not down. No.
Okay, cool. I will also bonus action hide.
Okay, roll your stealth check on that one.
Nat 20.
Whoa!
Oh, nice. There we go.
Standing directly behind him.
Just laying in his shadow.
Yeah.
Dodge this.
Excellent. And next up is Vel.
Vel is running out of a lot of his magic resources. So I am simply going to cast Toll the Dead as a cantrip.
Oh, excellent. Hell yeah.
Requires a wisdom saving throw. 16.
Brilliant.
What does that do, she asks, as someone who's very familiar with everything
I
in the
don't
game.
have my PHB in front of me, so I can't read the description.
Toll the dead. You point at one creature you can see within range, and the sound of dolorous bells fills the air around it for a moment. The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If the target is missing any of its hit points, it instead takes 1d12 necrotic damage. And that is also leveled up to 2d12 at the moment.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well, the sound does it rings out, sort of gathers from the streets. The wind whips up, and then he does put his hands up against his ears and sort of writhe a bit, but he shakes it off. And when he gets a total of 20 for his wisdom saving throw,
Nice.
and the sound dies off. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
That's all I can do at the moment.
Excellent. Fabier goes, "Take this," and shoots him in the chest.
I need to get me one of those things.
Take this and shoots Taryn.
Oh, they look so similar.
Ow!
He's going to absolutely pull out his rifle and shoots the figure directly in the chest.
Please don't miss. Please don't
He's
miss.
already hit.
Oh, okay.
He's already hit.
This is the first time he's hit anything.
Well, he got a natural 20
Oh, fuck yeah.
on Brother Malkai.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
He does hit with a 23, and he deals 16 damage to this figure with a big
Nice.
blast to the chest as the figure goes, "God, what was that?" And falls back on his ass with 16 damage, coughs up a bit of blood. He goes, "That's what we like to see. Isn't it, gang? Gang?"
Gang?
And next up, this bald, pale figure looking a bit worse for wear and looking a bit like a caged animal. He's there, he's panting, and he's holding a wound in his chest. Well, he looks at you, Val, can't see Taryn, with wild eyes, and goes, "It's not over yet." And he disappears, goes invisible.
I'm going to grab where he was.
You're going to grab where he was? Absolutely. Go ahead and make a grappling check with disadvantage if that's what you want to do for your turn.
Yep. No, I want to try and... I think he's trying to teleport away. I want to see if I can hold on to him. That is 11.
11, you jump out of your hiding spot and try and grab where he was. Your arms cross in front of you and you fall to the ground. Is there anything else you'd like to do or attempt on your turn?
Yes, I will yell, "Damn it! Mossgrow! He got away!" Favier,
Yes, my lord.
Favier, chase that carriage. Just go.
I'm on it. And
Leave the kid. Leave the kid.
he quickly stops, pulls the satchel off and places it gently on the ground. And he goes, "All right, stay safe, my little one." And takes off, running down the street. He just
keep going.
That's it.
Vel, it's your turn.
Vel is very quickly reminded why he has kept to the shadows for so long, and everything that he has been working on for years is now out in the daylight. He is pale, his blood has left him, and he has nothing to do in this moment.
Yeah, absolutely. We cut to the carriage. Mossgrow, as you hang on to this carriage, it weaves and turns and winds through the Grange, over a bridge, over a river, into more from sandstone and brick, into more cut stone and brass, and a slightly more richer neighborhood. And you see Rhey's passed out in the carriage. The carriage makes its way through the streets and it's continuing you're getting further and further away from that original point of the book repository. Is there anything you'd be like wanting to do, or you're just holding on and going for the ride, seeing where this ends up?
Yeah, as we're sort of going along, he's had a bit of time to think about it. And it's just not, I don't know, something's just not right. Is Rhey like fully passed out?
Yeah, Rhey's passed out again. Because you feel it yourself, but your adrenaline's still going. You're not technically exhausted yet, but You are tired. It's just another instance of you guys going overnight, 24 hours plus.
In that case, yeah, I'm going to sneak back into the carriage inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and
There's a chair in the carriage. I could snooze in the carriage.
go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage.
23.
Excellent. You're able to just creep in through the window. You're invisible, and you just sit down. You just, for a minute, look at Rhey 2's sleeping face and
cast Identify on her.
oh, excellent. You place your hand on Rhey and cast Identify. As you're looking at Rhey sleeping there and covered in scratches and blood from the battle and weary, worn face from what you guys have gone through over the last half a week or whatever it is, and the choir sort of picks up in the back of your head, and this just serene moment passes as the choir raises in your head and the Song of Olna starts to grow louder and louder, and you place your hand on Rhey, a caring hand, and cast Identify. Immediately your hair blows back, your eyes glow white. You identify that Rhey is under the effect of a charm person spell.
I don't know if we've come across anyone being charmed before.
Not really, no.
So yeah, it's
New
obvious.
to Mossy for sure.
Yeah, it's new. He's just like, yeah, there's something not right. So just seeing if...
Yeah, absolutely. You do discover that there is magic placed upon Rhey that is compelling her to act against her own.
Yeah, that's all it tells me. It's like for creatures, you just learn if any spells are affecting them.
But yeah, Mossgrow, you do discover that Rhey is under the effect of a charm person spell, and it's magic that is making her act against her own will. And so Mossgrow comes to this revelation that that's what's going on. That's why she's acting so weird, and that she is under a spell.
That's why she's so cranky, because otherwise she'd never would have shoved you off the carriage.
Yeah, Mossgrow feels relief.
It wasn't personal.
They're still friends. Mossgrow sits her up and goes, "Snap out of it," and slaps her in the face.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Woke up and chose violence, did we? The
Rhey, you are asleep, exhausted, passed out.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
You quickly fall into a deep slumber, and you're having dreams, or whether they're dreams or nightmares to you, it's up to you, but reminiscent of those unusual forced flashbacks that you had about the figure that joined the military and was weeping over, thought you and your family were dead, and was crying over your grave. And in the dream, you are sort of reuniting with this gnomish man, and he's shocked, and you laugh and you have a hug, and you get angry, and there's just sort of all these emotions, and then his face starts to boil and burn, and his skin starts to melt off, and then you were shaken awake and slapped in the face.
That's a lot to process. Mossy, what the fuck, man?
Mossgrow stepped back and has both of his hands up.
Don't throw me out again.
Just wakes up fucking throwing fists.
Your compulsion to have to stay in the carriage is gone.
Okay.
You're not charmed anymore.
I am. Not that I feel like it would maybe matter, but in the flashback / dream / vision things,
Yeah.
am I young or am I my age now?
In the most recent one you just had, when you were having this reunion, you were the same age as you are now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're shocked awake, pulled out of a deep sleep and a crazy dream, but you all of a sudden are yourself again and not feeling this compulsion to necessarily see where this carriage goes. And you see Mossgrow there with his hands up.
Just protecting his face.
Yeah.
Mossy, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? It's like shying away.
What are you doing? Don't be stupid. Get over here.
Okay.
Oh, God. Why was I asleep? And I know I'm in a carriage. Why am I in a carriage?
You tell me. You've been telling me to get out of here. I don't think we should be here.
I am here for a reason, I guess. I don't know what it is, though.
Well, not anymore. Let's get the fuck off this thing.
I was really enjoying the nap, but okay. I only have 5 hit points, and I would really like to keep.
I'm not feeling well. I don't want to jump off a carriage.
Mossgrow puts his hand on Rey's shoulder and then takes a health potion off her belt and gives it to her.
Oh, you could have done that any time.
Yeah, excellent.
Have some of this, and then we have to go.
It's like feeding a hungry child. You know? Now we can go do what I need to do.
So you're looking for your keys, but they're in your hand.
Excellent. So go ahead and roll 8d4 plus 8. As you drink this potion, you start to feel a lot of energy come back.
Fucking math. Okay.
I can see some ones.
Shut your face. You can't see anything.
Not that old.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Super. Okay, so that's 21.
Excellent. Yeah, you regain 21 hit points. Some of your wounds start to stitch back together. You feel somewhat more healthy, although still very tired. You guys are still in the carriage.
Yep, I'm going to try and tuck and roll off the carriage.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
Do a tuck and roll check, please.
Yeah. 16.
Yeah, you're able to avoid any damage on that one. Are you also doing the same thing? Mossgrow's already jumped out now. His carriage is still going.
She's like, it worked. Now I can go back to sleep.
Look, I remember the visions, right?
Yeah.
I'm inclined to stay in the carriage. I want to see where the carriage was taking me and why I got in it in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that okay?
Of course.
Rey, come on.
And she just leans out and gives the finger. No. No, I'm sorry, Mossy. I just need to find out where it's going.
Oh, for fuck. And I misty step back into the carriage.
This bitch, honestly.
And I sit down on the carriage grumpily.
Oh, Mossy, you do love me.
Use all my fucking spells. This better be going somewhere good. He's just grumbling to himself.
He pushes me on the fucking
Play some
carriage.
music, fucking.
I need a rest. You sleep over there. I'm sleeping here.
Get in your own corner.
Yeah.
The carriage continues with Mossgrow and Rey now willingly in the carriage.
But there's a frosty atmosphere in the carriage.
Mossgrow's, you're also feeling very much the rumble of the carriage. If you weren't so angry, you'd be falling asleep right now. We cut back to the middle of the street, just near the book repository. Vel, Tarun, Fabio rounds the corner, long distance away now. He's gone.
Yep.
Milo wanders back over to you. There.
Hey, little buddy. Val, have you had any idea what to do right now?
No. This has gone poorly, but it was never going to go well. So I got the papers. Do you have somewhere safe that we can read, or do we keep trying to chase the other two down?
Look, I'm sure there's a tavern around here somewhere. Look, first thing I got to do, I should take Snoodles back to the stable before someone realizes he's missing.
All right.
So I'm just going to walk, down the block 2 buildings and
Yeah.
tie him back up.
Yeah.
What a waste of time that was. You're right. Let's go. There's this giant fireball of plume of smoke.
Yeah, I would like to get out of here before anyone comes and charges me with terrorism.
Yeah, we're going to go find a tavern. There's probably one off down this street. And we'll see what you managed to score, I guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You head off to the nearest tavern, a few blocks away, a tavern called the Gardener's Arms. And you're able to go in, find a relatively secluded booth, and you start looking through these papers and things that you managed to snatch off the desk. Mm-hmm. You're seeing the ledgers noting the names and ages of certain children and the years that they were at Laverstock, home for wayward youths. Both of you go ahead and roll an investigation check.
3.
19 is what you should have been aiming for. 19.
19. You don't see yours or Rey's names on any of the papers to do with Laverstock. You also see, Vel, there are papers related to the church and the congregation. And Tarun, you see there are messages and communications between several figures that you've never heard of. There's one from a man named Aubrey Marigold, and he's writing to Barnaby Rendhelm, and it's just a message saying, "Counselor, I expect you to attend our home shortly. You've strayed too far from the path. Any more action that is not sanctioned will not be good for your health." So as you guys are going over these papers, you're seeing these sort of things. Information about the church congregation, names, addresses. There's information about the previous high rector, and there's basically a note file on him saying, accused of money laundering, transferred to Xandarin. New High Rector Chauncey Lingrid to take over. And then there is information about Laverstock. There is massive acquisitions of orphans, like huge adoptions of groups of orphans. You see the name Marigold again.
Yep.
And that's most of what you can make out from the papers that you have found. So you guys are sitting there at the booth going over this.
It almost seems like they're dealing in some sort of like child human trafficking.
Yeah.
Me and Rhey were in this. Like, we were never sent anywhere. We never bought or sold or anything. We didn't know any of this stuff was going on.
Read through it. How long do the records go back?
Good question. Let's have a look.
The records go back for about 6 years. So
that
you guys were
yeah.
before this really picked up is what you're gathering.
So it could have been happening back then, but we can say at least for the past 6 years is where everything's ramped up and we've got record of right now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it on the table. I've been working to get kids that would otherwise be filtered through other systems because they've got magic out of the city. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing that on my own for a while. And it's only since this Lingrit's come into the church in the past 6 months or so that I've really had to take note of these two. Him and Malachi that we've just dealt with.
Singed.
Yeah. Who was that other one? Was that his like actual brother? Or was that like a religious brother thing?
I would say religious brother thing.
Okay.
I'm a member of the church and I have no idea who that was.
Yeah, okay.
Inadvertently, I think we've been working towards the same thing for a while, but this, I didn't know any of this to this degree or to this scale. I've been a one-person operation for a while.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of glad to have you on board now, because you kind of seem to know at least some of the people we're supposed to be... maybe killing's a little bit rough, but, you know, at least talking to before the murder.
Well, with Malachi's reaction to my presence, with all this paperwork, I don't think it's much of a stretch to say that Lingrit, who's the High Rector of the church, is just straight up involved in this.
Yeah.
So we could very well be going up against the church as an organization just because he's head of it at the moment.
Oh, I don't...
Churches never do anything bad.
I don't want to take on a whole religion today.
No, me either.
It's a Monday job.
I'm wrecked.
I'm thinking, I've got a smart stone. I can call these guys, hopefully they're okay. And I'll just tell them to hold tight, do whatever they need to do, and we can grab a room and just
because
just have a good hard nap.
I have done a good job of keeping this to myself for a very long time. And in the space of the afternoon, I'm going to have the church coming down on me hard now. So yeah, anywhere you've got to lay low, if I can join you in that, I would very much appreciate that until I can either deal with the church or decide where I'm going next.
I mean, that seems
6
fair.
feet underground? Yeah.
I hear they've got like a whole industry for getting rid of bodies.
You guys are wrecked. Taryn, you've been awake. You also, Vel, probably the same thing. You've been awake for days because it's all been culminating at this point. Mm-hmm. Mossgrow and Rhey, I'm actually going to get you to make constitution checks to see if you can even stay awake.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice. His resolve stands true.
Okay. 17 plus 3.
Dirty 20. Brilliant. You are able to stay awake if you choose to.
No.
this carriage actually starts going through this rich part of this town, and then you come up to a gigantic wall and a gate, and the carriage is actually waved through the gate into the ward.
Oh.
I want to go to the ward.
What are you guys doing?
I think we're just going to go upstairs and get a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to fight off at this point. The adrenaline dump after that as well, you'll be crashing so hard. So you are able to acquire a room, 2 single beds, a simple room, 1 window, and a chamber pot, and you just crash out. Is there anything else you do before you crash out?
Dib's going first on the chamber pot.
Okay. All yours.
Priorities.
Excellent. You guys quickly fall into a slumber and much needed repose. Mossgrow, with the sound of Rhey sleeping and the carriage just trying ever so hard to put you to sleep, you stay strong, keeping your eyes at where you're going, and then you start to notice you're in the ward again. But you are in upper ward near the wall. You go around, and eventually you wind up at a set of huge iron gates. And on the gates, it says the Laverstock Home for Wayward Youths. And that's where we're going to end this session. Hey!
This one just hits different.
Nice.
The old stomping ground. Okay.